we got to dig into Tiger. So just about a week ago, the news came out, Tiger committing to play in the PNC with his son, Charlie. And now it's obviously it's been confirmed. Everything is set up. And now it's just waiting a couple more days before this thing kicks off. PNC, it's a weekend tournament, right? Saturday, Sunday tournament.
It's a Saturday, Sunday, 2-day. It's 20 of golf's major champions and their families. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's just 20 twosomes.
Exactly. Always adds a bit of excitement. And speaking of which, we got Mike Thomas and Justin Thomas, the defending champs. Of course, Justin Thomas, he's always in there in the mix. And then Mike Thomas, no slacker of a golf, golfer himself. He's a golf pro. Actually, I believe that Justin is the third generation of golfer there. I believe his grandfather, who recently passed away, was also a PGA professional. But I do like that aspect of it too. And I always like when JT's in the mix. I think he adds a good energy to it. I remember when he was hosting the match with Tiger just about a year or so ago. They're just out there ribbing each other, and he and Tiger seem to always kind of have fun going back and forth. But all eyes are going to be on him.
Especially Charlie. Remember last year he kept, the smack talk.
He did.
He was good about it.
And that's the thing that I'm so impressed with this kid. 12 years old, right? Not only is he hanging in there competitively the way he's playing and seemingly just progressing and getting better and better, but the mental fortitude it takes to do that on that stage at that level. Think about it. We joke about first tee jitters. We get upset. Like a couple people are watching and all of a sudden it's a little bit harder to hit the ball the way we want to do it. Now here's a kid who is going to be front and center stage in his father's first tournament back since the accident. The entire world is going to be watching this thing.
Oh, yeah. You're absolutely right.
Whereas in previous years, it's a little bit, the PNC's a little bit of a novelty. Right. But now it's Tiger's return.
Yeah, it's become way bigger than that. And, I love seeing all the highlights from last year, and they keep flashing that awesome shot of him hitting that draw around the tree.
Yes.
And he puts it to like 4 feet, and he just goes up and taps in the eagle.
It's incredible.
We're out here trying to make bogey.
But look, I think we can expect some big things for this kid. But again, talking about that pressure, right? Have you seen the books, the sports books already are putting odds on him?
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I mean, I don't know how to really.
Let's read through some of these. So they've got.
Jeez,
these are things you can actually bet on. This is where the world has gone. 12-year-old kid. Wow. 825 to 1 for Charlie to win a major by 25. Okay. 1,500 to 1 to win a major before 22, like his father. Here's another one. 2 to 1 to earn his tour card by age 24. So it's just telling you there.
I might take all of them. I mean, honestly, you think about it, 1,500 to 1 for Tiger Woods' son to win a major before he's 22. He's 12 and he's hitting those draws to eagle. I think I take the bet.
It is.
Put $10 down and call it a day
to win at that. Yeah, but $10.
When did Tiger win, Zach? When did Tiger win his first major? Do you know?
It says like his dad. It's before 22.
Oh, got it. 22.
I think he was 21. Right?
That's right.
He was 21 when he won. But here's the thing that's so crazy: 2 to 1 odds on getting a tour card. It's just basically saying it's a lock. This kid's gonna have his tour card.
That's a lock.
I mean, so you believe it's
Think
true?
about the schools. Think about. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Stanford probably, and
do you? So I guess I'll ask you this question: do you think there's any chance that we don't see Charlie Woods as on the PGA Tour at one point?
I would say there's.
Is that where his trajectory is headed?
Barring any injury or anything from now until he gets there, I'd say we're going to see him there.
Yeah, I think so too.
Definitely.
I mean, clearly he shows interest in the game. He's out there. He's grinding. He's playing.
He has the
practicing.
team, the facility. He's got everything he needs to be at the top of his game.
Yeah. And I think you can put all of those things into someone, and there's still a level of they got to have some talent, and I think he shows it.
Yeah.
But again, the talent that I'm most impressed with is his mental fortitude. He's cool out there. How many? And I understand. Here's a kid who grew up in the spotlight, right? As much as Tiger would allow it,
right?
He grew up in the spotlight, but still, I mean, to be 12 years old and to be out there doing that, knowing you're on television, the fans, the stuff like that, and how cool he is, it's incredible.
If he's cool now, just imagine. And by the way, how do you hold on to a bet slip for like 10 years? How does that work?
Yeah, great question.
You just tuck it away in the sock drawer?
I guess you do.
It's all online these days.
That's true. I guess it just sits in your account. Just hope that casino doesn't go out of business. Okay.
But Zach, you were telling us a story before about Medalist, right? What happened with Charlie at Medalist?
I believe Charlie shot an 80 at Medalist on Tiger's first round back with him.
And you're saying it was from the back tees, not the forward tees usually plays?
He used to play on the kids' tees,
yeah,
and now they went one back from there, okay. Tiger said. So I don't think he's playing, obviously he's not playing from the pros.
Not the tips, but he's playing like the adult tees.
For sure.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Medalist, pretty cool. That's a tough course. And I mean, it just shows. It tells you he's on the right trajectory.
It will. And I wanted to just talk about this quick story because this story that not many people heard about Mike Thomas.
Yes.
Speaking of Justin Thomas and Mike Thomas. I reached out to Justin like 2015.
Yeah.
And this was right before his first major win on tour. I believe it was the CIMB in Malaysia was his first tour.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, we're an up-and-coming podcast. We're about 2 years old, and we'd love to have you, Justin, we'd love to have you come on the show.
Well, going back even further, we had bumped into him.
I bumped into after.
At the Barclays.
I bumped into, Justin Thomas.
Yes. We bumped into Justin Thomas at the Barclays. That was our first exposure to him.
Doing the thing with Ricky Fowler's clubs.
Right. And it was one of those moments when it's a new guy on tour, you didn't know who he was.
Right. We didn't know who he really was.
Right. And we bumped into him, had a little laugh with him on the
And it was at that moment where I was like, I like this guy.
Right. And I'm saying that's what the start of the story was, the trigger for us to want to get him on the pod, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, I like this guy. You're right. And he seems like he's got a fun personality.
He was playing jokes on Ricky, and we like, this guy would be fun on the pod. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Mike Thomas writes back, his dad, and he says, due to his schedule, it's a busy time of year, and he's unable to do it right now, but let's circle back at some other point.
Yeah.
Then he went on to win, and, I don't know how many wins later, the rest is history.
Yeah.
So, I've run into Mike Thomas at other Northern Trust when he's around. He's a great guy. We've seen him in the Titleist booth at the PGA show. Super cool guy, down to earth. But I just thought it was funny. I tried to go back and find that email.
Yeah.
I was going on all these different servers, like old GoDaddy email servers. I couldn't find it. But
well, I certainly don't think that Mike is still handling running
he's definitely
all
not
Justin's
anymore.
affairs
exactly.
anymore.
That's how long ago it was.
Yeah. But that's wild. Hey, look, let's start a new campaign. Let's get him on the pod.
Let's
go.
Justin Thomas.
Any of you out there got a line to JT, tell him we want him here on the podcast, and we were this close.
So close.
Just missed our chance. You got to catch him early.
You got to get him early.
You got to catch him early. Right. But anyway, so Tigers, going back to speaking about Tigers, so obviously this is the big week. A lot of people have all different varying expectations. I think one expectation I just have is just hoping to see him having fun and being competitive. I don't think this is going to be something where we're looking to have him making any miracles out there. No, not at all. I'd just be happy to see him get through both days, no injuries, just looking good. And then he's got a couple months that he can continue to prepare for what we really want to see, which is the Masters. But we've talked about it here on the show before. His streak of holding number one spot. And this graphic just kind of dropped out this week. Where when you see it visualized like this, and this is what we talked about. We said how hard it is now to be number one because we've got so many incredible golfers. Look at these last couple of years in the mix. Everybody from DJ Rahm, Koepka, Rory in there. And it just seems to bounce back and forth. And these guys have, great years. They have standout years, but to do it for as long as Tiger did.
It's incredible.
It's absolutely incredible to hold on to that streak. It's one of those, again, Tiger records that I think will never be broken. But we got a good laugh, though, right?
Well, yeah, look at this. So you got Tiger 98 to 2009. And the only one to break his streak right there in 2004 was VJ. And VJ, of course, with the savage comment, comes in and he says, only one to defeat the streak. I love it.
You gotta. Too funny.
You got it, especially if you're the guy who did that. Definitely.
And that's one thing that like I said, I continue to like about these guys. The more you get inside the ropes and start to hear it and see it, now we're seeing everyone's seeing it with these new events where they get mic'd up. You realize how, they're super competitive, but they're all good friends and they all love to really rib each other.